Wicket time, Isaac Okpe disturbing the furniture of Roger Mukasa. Roger Mukasa just scored a boundary off him, off the first ball of the day, but this time, unfortunately, he tried to play down the ground, played down the wrong line, and he loses his wicket. Uganda already 4 for 1 after just 2 balls in this game. This is the second T20 game of the day. Kaduna State taking on the Uganda select side. The second last game for the Kaduna State on their tour to Uganda this year. Their final game will be tomorrow afternoon, another T20 game against the same opponent. And the game will also be here at the Lugogo Cricket Oval. Would like to welcome everyone who's watching this game on the live stream. The stream is produced by Kawawa Sports, the leading East African sports website for Uganda Cricket Association. And we are live here at the Lugogo Cricket Oval. Arnold Otwani, the new batter for the Uganda select side. We'll take a quick single. Kaduna State, all their fielders always like hanging on the ring. And once the Ugandans notice this, they will always take off for that single. Zephaniah Anaite, who was in good nick in the first T20 game, scoring 40 of 22 balls, is now on strike for the Uganda select side.
Walabye kagaya kalina obubiri akawanvu omupiira kagukanyuga kava wala nako kaddugavu kati va kwako waliwo akalala
Good shot there from Zephaniah and Naitwe trying to take on Isaac Okpe. Ball, the short one. Just didn't have the legs to go all the way to the boundary. Zephyr has those camouflage gloves. Looks very, very neat in them. Zephaniah and Naitwe and Arnold Otwani, the new batters, missed out on selection for the Ugandan team. But both of them are very, very exciting talents. And have actually done well in this Kaduna series. They are they are among the highest run scorers for Team Uganda. Shot from Zephyr. He loves that whip off his feet. And he will always get rewarded. Earlier on in his career, he used to play it in the air. And teams used to set him up from there. But I think he's starting to learn how to control it. Make sure that it goes where he wants it to go. But when it's not in the air. It's the end of the first over. 11 for 1 Uganda against Kaduna State. Wides given there by Jimo. The keeper failing to collect the ball very well, but good work here from the fielder, Joel Joseph. 4 runs indicated there finally by the umpire. I think Joel Joseph had done well to keep the ball out, but unfortunately dropped it on the rope, and the 4 runs have been indicated by the umpire. The team for Uganda today, the select team, has Roger Mukasa. Big shot there from Zephaniah Naitwe. Drops that ball onto the bunker. 6 runs. Zephyr, I told you he scored 40 off 22 runs for 22 balls in the morning. He continues his good form. Team for Uganda, Zephaniah Naitwe, Roger Mukasa, Arnold Otwani, Subu Gasiraje, Franka Kankwasa, the captain, Pasco Murungi, Jonathan Kiza, Richard Agamire, Gerard Mobiru, Muniru Ismail, and Cyrus Kakuru. For Kaduna State, have Danladi, Isaac, Jimo Adimoy, who's bowling right now, Sylvester Okpe, Daniel Jim, Adimola Onikoi, the wicketkeeper, Isaac Okpe, Yusuf Gashon, Godwin Onoja, Joel Joseph, Ife Ubo, and Adidei Sesan. Kaduna State batted first in the morning, scored 126, which Uganda was able to chase down with 9 balls to spare. And this time Uganda won the toss and elected to bat first. Big shot there from Zephaniah Renitwe charging Isaac Okpe. He's only able to get the height and the distance. Barely. Didn't make very good connection with the ball. But at least he's able to make sure that he is safe enough. He'll get another boundary. Hit hard there by Zephaniah. And this time it will run away for 4. Back-to-back boundaries for the youngster. Zephyr continuing his very good form from the morning game. Zephyr is already on 24 of 9 balls. Again, hitting the same gap. 3 boundaries in a row for Zephaniah and Renitwe. Isaac Okpe is running out of ideas, doesn't know where to pitch the next delivery because Zephyr has taken a liking to his bowling. Same thing happened in the morning. Uganda started so slowly. Isaac and Jimo had bowled the first 2 overs very tightly. Actually, the first 4. But once Sylvester was introduced into the attack, Zephyr and Roger came after him, and that score quickly changed from about 3 runs every over and went straight away to 7 runs every over. Good comeback delivery there from Isaac. Zephyr interested in a single, but he's sent back by Arnold Otwani, who wasn't having any of that. Sylvester Okpe manipulating the field, deciding to remove the cover. Because the 2 boundaries that Zephyr hit went through that region. So it decides to remove the boundary and keep that gap open. But they put a man in the deep. Swings hard Zephyr again, but this time without proper direction. The ball was right under his nose. If he decided to go straight, could have gotten more rewards. 40 for 1 in 3 overs. Wicket time, Arnold Otwani falling to Jimo Adinoy. Very simple catch to the man in covers. The second wicket down for Uganda. They are 40 for 2. Into bat for the Uganda select side is the captain, Frank Akankwasa. They will take a quick single, but he might be in trouble. Direct hit, but the umpire is not very well convinced. Remember, we don't have the benefit of technology. And the number one rule for umpiring is that if you're in doubt, the benefit always goes to the batter. But a good pickup there. First time pick up and throw from the fielder in mid-wicket. But the good thing Frank Akankwasa and Zephyr had done is that they had made up their minds to take that run. If there had been any bit of hesitation, they could have had Akankwasa in big trouble. Zephyr trying to charge again, but this time loses his wicket. Jimo Adimoy picking up his second wicket of the game, and that of the man who has been very, very aggressive against the bowling. Zephania falling for 28 of 10 balls. But sometimes that's not enough. He's also disappointed in himself. Needed to hold himself back to try and make sure he can consolidate with his captain. Sometimes that's a frustration with this style of play, because you don't want to keep losing wickets. Every wicket causes a lot of pressure, so you want people to go in there and consolidate. And Zephyr had gotten going already. He just needed to make better selection of his shots. Bowling change for Kaduna State. Isaac Okpe is removed out of the attack, and Joel Joseph is introduced. The new batter for the Uganda select team, the youngster Cyrus Kakuru. Joel Joseph, this is a very good field set here from Isaac Okpe, an attacking field set. Both batters are still very new, so there is no point in trying to go defensive. Everyone is around the bat and in the ring. Maybe you would want them to add like probably a slip or something. but they have all their batters in the ring, all the fielders in the ring. That means that the batsmen have to work very, very hard for their runs, especially by piercing the gaps. Kankwasa had a very good knock in the morning. Small cameo, little cameo, not a very good knock. But it should get him feeling much better because he didn't get so many runs in the ODI games. But he now needs to bat very well. Good shot there by Fraka Kankwasa. Unfortunately, he didn't hold that pause. But most time when you hit a shot like that, you need to hold that pause for the cameras. But that's a very good shot for him. And this is the thing, when you have a field set like this, it is up to you as a batsman to make sure that you're able to hit the gaps, because if you do, there will be no chance for the fielders in the inner ring. So this also tests your skill as a batsman. The new bowler for Kaduna State, who has replaced a man who picked up 2 wickets, Jimo Adinoy, is Ife Ubo. Ife Ubo, the standout bowler for Kaduna State in the first T20 game in the morning. He likes operating from that shell end. And he's bowling to Cyrus Kakuru. Cyrus Kakuru with a very good shot, picking up that delivery and hitting it for 4. Getting himself off the mark. Cyrus, an exciting prospect. An upcoming wicketkeeper batsman. Was part of the under-19 team at the World Cup this year in West Indies. got a 50 in the game against PNG. They try to take a quick single, he may be in trouble. The keeper, very slow in removing the bail, so I think it allowed Cyrus to get back into his crease. But once he hit that ball, he took off, only to be sent back by his captain, Frank Kankwasa. Very good work there in the field from the man at point, the captain Sylvester Okpe. Poor fielding from Kaduna State allows Cyrus Kakuru and Frank Kankwasa to pick up a second. Should have only been one. A good over for Team Uganda, who are now 55 for 2. Uganda is now 55 for 3 after 6 overs. Zephania United, the aggressor in that one, scoring a quick fire 28 off 10 balls. Sure, if he had stayed in, that score would be more than 55. Joel Joseph will continue bowling from the Ginger Road end. Joel Joseph, after the end of that power play, Sylvester Okpe now opting to go for a defensive field. I thought he should have kept an attacking field. An attacking field would have kept challenging either Cyrus or Kankwasa and could have helped maybe create opportunities for them. But for the quality of the batters that these two are, they will easily pick up the ones and twos, especially those that are in front of them, because Joe Joseph is bowling a wicket to wicket length. Another easy single for Kaduna State. I'm joined in the commentary by the media manager for the Cricket Cranes and someone who's very, very used to this microphone. Has done a lot of work for the ICC, and I'm sure you'll hear his voice next month during the ICC Cricket Challenge League B tournament. Innocent Ndaula.
Good times to have some international cricket going on here. Logogo, what many call the home of cricket. Kaduna State making these visits to Uganda a routine. They're putting in shifts worth every ounce of energy. Joseph bowling to Kakuru and Frank after an early burst. They did get wickets in the power play. These Kaduna State bowlers are Nitro Zephania, Roger Mukasa, and Arnold Otwani, all back in the heart. 28 from 13 is what Zephania got. Roger Mukasa dismissed for 4 off 2 balls. He got a boundary and he was bowled then neck and crop by Isaac Okpe. It's now time for the captain, Frank Kankwasa, who was the young blood right out there in the middle. Lucky leading edge to the boundary. More runs for Uganda Select. Kaduna State putting in a shift and being able to pick 3 wickets in the power play. Jimo Abdul Rahman Adinoy, 3 wickets, 2 wickets to his name of the 3. Isaac Okpe, very expensive, but getting the prize wicket of Roger Mukasa. His figures are 1 for 23, and he still has another 2 overs to bowl. He could make amends. That's the end of the over number 7, 64 for 3. Well played, misfield. I don't think these are tired bodies, but the technique is poor from the man at square leg. That will creep through to the boundary. 4 runs to the total. Cyrus Kakuru getting his first boundary of his innings. That was straying down the leg, will not be given out. Cyrus Kakuru with only 2 boundaries in his innings thus far. Strike rate not bad, it's at 100. Flashing blade of Cyrus doesn't connect anything. Ifanyi Ubo bowling. First over did go for 12. He must make amends in this one. That's well guided. There is some cover in the deep. Running all the way from third man to go round. Deep cover point to save a boundary. Cyrus Kakuru already with the life. He survived a run out. He was running to nowhere. That is flicked over the keeper, who was in position but missed everything. In T20, you pay the price if you bowl all over the park. Ifenyi Ubo, guilty there for bowling to the pads of the one Cyrus Kakuru. Quick medical break out there in the middle. They'll use that as a drinks break. The Uganda select players, couple of fringe players knocking on the doors of the senior national team in this squad that is sponsored by Plus Squad. Medical break done and dusted. The proceedings shall continue. Kakuru has his captain. His captain got 25 odd in the first inning, in the first match of the day. Guilty to throw away his wicket with only less than 10 runs required. He should have been there right at the end to score the winning runs as a captain after he've worked hard and scored 20 plus. Don't give the opposition your wicket. He will know better. Kakuru getting bat on ball but hitting it straight to the fielder at point. And that is the end of over number 8, 74 for 3. Wickets have fallen early, but the runs on board give Uganda a chance to think they can accelerate further later on in the innings. In the first match of the day, Uganda were chasing down 126. They needed 127 to win, and they did have 70 runs on board after 10 overs. A lot more now than they had 70 in 10 then. From the pace of Joseph, there is a change in the bowling. Hit straight to long on. Joseph, the man who bowled the previous over from the Ginger Road end, feels very well. Okpe Sylvester Ame, the captain, in the mix, introduces himself to bowl the 9th over. Lawrence Matlane, the national coach, cutting a relaxed pose in the dugout. Happy to see his players think and play with their thinking caps on. 2 balls, 3 balls from Okpe, just the 1 run of the first delivery he bowled to Frank Akankwasa. That is in the air. Who wants it? And yes, it's taken. Cyrus Kakuru was bogged down. He buckled under pressure, lost his wicket, just finding the edge. Ball had the height, never would it ever have the distance because it didn't come from the sweet spot. He perishes trying to get some runs on board for his team, gifting Okpe first wicket of the match, his first of the match, and 4th of the innings. Uganda are 75 for 4 now. 75 for 4, Uganda select. Into the 9th over. Kakuru gone for 18 from 19 balls with 3 boundaries. Another 2 balls left in this over. Current run rate for Uganda is 8. We don't want to be moving at 8.7 but losing wickets in regular fashion. Munir Ismail gets his chance out in the middle. Munir Ismail is an exciting batsman. Exciting batsman who can bowl some good wily spinners. At the age of 15, Munir did make a name for himself on the continent, winning Man of Match awards as part of that young under-19 side that was in Namibia to play in the 2019 World Cup qualifiers. Uganda not qualifying that time round, but Munir showing up in Kigali again and helping Uganda qualify for the World Cup in the West Indies that was held earlier this year in January. Munir joins his captain Frank Akankwasa. Munir himself, the vice captain of the Baby Cricket Cranes. Very, very good over, arguably the best in the match for Kaduna State. Went for 1 run. There was a wicket and was bowled by the captain. Just the 9 overs gone. 75 runs on board. Nothing big we've seen from the innings so far, apart from Zephaniah Naitwe's shash-buckling 28 from 13 balls. He was a man on a mission. Same approach he had in the morning match, scoring a 40 of 21. Munir Ismail asked to go back immediately by his captain. Never a chance for a run there. Sesan Adedeji keeping things very tight. Munir plays again and misses. The runs flow has been stopped here at Lugogo Cricket Ground. Uganda needs some runs. They were moving at 8.7 per over. That has fallen. It's reduced. Very, very good over. 2 overs now have gone for 1 run. A maiden over from Adedeji Sesan. He did bowl very well in the first match. You're watching this game and you're thinking, he unfurls the sweep shot, delicate runs for Uganda Select. The run rate had fallen to 7.6 from 8.7, but that boundary will get it up and back there where it was. You don't want to be spoiling the good work. Come on, Sylvester. Bowled a very good first over for 1 run and picked up the wicket of Cyrus Kakuru. Should be able to build on the good work. Big, good, sharp shout for leg before wicket. And it's a wicket. Frank Akankwasa playing round his legs. The umpire doesn't hesitate. Raise the finger. Akankwasa is gone. Score is 79 for 5.
A change in the angle there, Innocent, from Sylvester Okpe. They had been coming from right arm over the wicket, and Akankwasa got away with that sweep shot. But once he changed and came right arm around the wicket, he's able to just slightly deceive Akankwasa into playing across the line of a straight delivery that stayed so low. Could have hit his ankle actually, and getting him and trapping him LBW. Very, very satisfied man there, Sylvester, the captain. Very happy for himself. He went for quite many in the first game. Roger Mukasa and Zephaniah United taking a liking to his bowling, but he's come back in the afternoon already picking up 2 wickets so far in just his second over. Good work there from the captain. He has really been the standout. He has really been the standout for Kaduna State in the whole series. He has always broken the partnerships and made sure that he keeps it very, very tidy as well. It's good stuff to see. The new batter for the Uganda A side is Pasco Mrungi, the captain of the Under-19 team that went to the World Cup in the West Indies recently.
Staying with the same mantra. Runs on board for Pascal Murungi, a man who has built a reputation in the national trials. Is fearless. He likes to go out and play his shots, not scared with what the bowlers have to do, and is only worried about his game, and he's been scoring very many runs in the trials. One of the other under-19s continuing to ask big questions to the selectors whether he ain't ready to be in the bigger side, which is the Cricket Cranes.
No doubt he has a skill, Innocent, to be in the Cricket Cranes team. My only worry for players like of his caliber and quality is that there's a lot of all-rounders in the Cricket Cranes team already. If you talk of the likes of Riyazat Alisha, the captain, Brian Masaba, and Deus Muhumuza, who are all starters, it's very difficult. They've set a very, very high standard. And for him to get into the team, he has to do extraordinary things to keep those three out for now.
Talking extraordinary things, exactly what he did in the World Cup, scoring 350s there, and then coming in the national trials, and he's been piling on the runs. He's not picked up so many wickets, but he's looked after his batting very well, and getting sure that he bats not below number 8. Good all-rounders position for Pasco, and together with him out there in the middle, two guys, the captain and the vice captain of the Baby Cricket Cranes. Pascal joining Munir Ismail. They've got work to do and show that they can match Kaduna State pound for pound. You remember when Kaduna State was last year, they played the under-19s in a very good, exciting series. All matches went down to the wire. Unfortunately, the Baby Cricket Cranes didn't want on the winning side those matches, giving the Baby Cricket Cranes enviable practice ahead of their trip to Rwanda, where they did shake up things and beat Tanzania, who looked like they would be the ones going to the World Cup after their big victory over Namibia, who had beaten Uganda in the opening match. Straight to the fielder, who has to run round to collect, but they go through for one quickly. Laxity from the keeper there. He should have put his body behind the ball, that particular instance, but he gives away another extra run.
Pasco Murungi batting with the man who should have been his vice captain at the World Cup. Ismail Munir missing out on that World Cup because of COVID. Unfortunate for him, but has a very, very big future ahead of him, Ismail Munir, especially because he's a batting all-rounder with a very, very big heart. It's good to see both of them being given opportunities by the Cricket Cranes head coach Lawrence Mahatlani to show what they have and what they can do, and of course to compete against the big boys. I hope they're picking up a lesson or two from playing with players such as Ronak Patel, Dinesh Nakrani, Riyazat Alisha, things that could be able to help them and improve their games as well.
Little dance down the wicket there. Will get only one run. They're very, very worried of what the current run rate is. The two young boys in the middle, the coach should have made it clear. Another chance to run. Looking around here, you see that Matlane is seated alone in the dugout. The two other coaches, the three other coaches, Lawrence Sematimba and his namesake Lawrence Sempija, digging away somewhere, dining as they return to do with the cricket, the Victoria Pearls. after that successful historic series win in Nepal, in Kathmandu, where they won the series 3-2. And the French players getting into the mix and getting to see how international cricket, what it is all about, getting some runs for themselves on board and winning some prize money. I would like to be Janet Babas' friend right about now, because she has no less than $300 in her wallet. Yes. Many times when the cricket fraternity guys get some money in their pocket, they use one topic, one theme: no new friends. I hope she can take in one extra friend, and that will be Innocent Dowla. But on to the cricket, Dennis here, talking quickly about the coaching staff. You realize that Jackson Ogwang, alongside 30 other young coaches of Uganda cricket, are in Kabira Country Club attending that level 1 course being conducted by the ICC Africa office. Jackson Ogwang, alongside the captain, national captain attending that one as well, Brian Masaba, Deus Muhumuza, Frank Nsubuga, Henry Senyondo, Fred Achelam, and Emmanuel Hasaya. They're all attending that course. And we know that very well, many of those players leaving the national setup will be coaches that are the underage teams in Uganda will look to. So good things happening in Kabira, thanks to ICC Africa. Course ends on Wednesday, and the coach duly giving the guys away time to attend the course.
Good cricket here from the youngsters, picking up an easy single. They've decided to be very, very cautious against Silvestri. And like Innocent, you've mentioned, capacity building is very key. A lot of people make the mistake to think that because they've played the game even at a very high level, they can actually do the coaching itself. But it's always important to get the knowledge. We've seen it happen, even players who are as good as Thierry Henry had to go through the necessary education for them to be proper coaches.
And called for shot. Give the ball a full face. Don't get a little too clever and ahead of yourself. Projected score says 142. I think the Ugandan team should look for 150. I am looking for the firepower in the squad, and looking closer to the team selected for this afternoon blitz. You see that there is just Sirajan Subuga, Jonathan Kiza, Agamire Richard, and Gerard Mubiru to come. Do you see any fireworks in those 4 youngsters, young men in the dugout?
There's still some batting. Richard Agamire is very, very handy with the bat. There's work to do most definitely, but you feel that you need Pasco to be there up to until the end. He can hit the ball quite some mile, and so does Ismail Munir. Therefore, these two need to bat for at least 4 more overs before they can expose the rest of the guys. In the morning, 126 is what Kaduna State was able to get. Uganda now at 90 for 5. They will need to work very hard to make sure they score somewhere close to the region of 150 runs.
One big player there missing out. A man who wore his hat on his sleeves yesterday. Mr. Ravilal Alpesh Ramjani, who is knocking on the doors. He did bowl a very good spell up in the morning to pick it up from yesterday. And he will score the winning runs here today with a 20-odd. He's missing in this squad. He could have been some of the firepower this afternoon team could have used. But the coach gives him some well-earned rest. And for him to come out to play today, this morning, after we saw him limp in Kamengo yesterday, Dennis, tells you of what type of player he is. He's a guy with a lion heart.
I spoke about it in the morning, that yesterday he had a limp, so I thought he would even be out for quite some time. But it's good to know that just only took a night's rest was enough for him to be back playing. That shows the commitment that he has to this cause.
Very well played. They're running through for the first very hard. They'll get the second. And they are tempting the devil by looking at each other and trying to steal a third single there. This 2020 is also attracting a couple of selectors. I saw some in Copper Chimney earlier, watching from there, the restaurant. Comedy of Errors Dennis in the field here. More misfields. It's been the tail of the tape for Kaduna State in this afternoon blitz. We're talking about the selection of the team. Good migraine for them to have a large pool of quality players to pick from, having had a look at the 2020 and then also looking at the 50 overs earlier. You feel that the selectors are using this particular series to look at a few players that they may consider for Zimbabwe trip, where you're going to have to play in the global T20 qualifier just after they've played here at home. In the June World Cup series, the pathway to the World Cup in India 2023, just next year, Dennis. You feel that Uganda are putting themselves in a place where they could actually be going to 2 World Cups if only the heavens can hear them louder.
What is meant to be will be, and if we are meant to be at 2 World Cups, so it will come to pass. But a lot of international cricket is going to happen for the cricket cranes, and it's going to be a lot of work for Lawrence Mahatlani and his boys. It's going to be very, very hectic on their bodies. There is only a break of about 10 days between